it's Denise Taylor, the 50 Plus Coach, and this is another of my kitchen conversations. And what I wanted to talk this time about was about being productive. And I think there's a tendency for all of us to get distracted. We get distracted by things that pop out at us on our phone. We get distracted by the number of emails that we get. We get distracted by never ending searching on Google because we get a thought into our head on what we should do about it. And I work really hard at being smart with my time, and I no longer have emails that come onto my phone. They only come onto my phone when I choose them to do, and I stop looking at my phone from about 8 o'clock at night. And if I notice anything's work related, then I don't even read it. I just think that will wait till tomorrow. It's my personal time now. But I think, particularly if you're like me and you spend a lot of time working at a computer, you can get distracted. And I just wanted to share some techniques that work for me. First of all, I have a big task that I do as soon as I wake up in the morning, and it may be something client focused, it might be to work on a chapter of a book, but I get focused on a big work related task. And this morning it was editing some videos. So I feel like I've achieved something. And it's only later, which may be an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours later, maybe longer than that I actually check my emails. And I have a folder called Read Later. And I have all my newsletters automatically directed into my Read Later folder. All the things about LinkedIn groups goes directly into that. But sometimes things just creep through. And anything that is not work related goes into the Read Later file. So I have the minimum of things to deal with. If they're clients, I would generally deal with them right away. If it's going to be a big task, then I'll give them an update about how things are going. But smaller things I just deal with there and then. You know, I just feel like you don't need to look at it twice. So that works for me. And then I get on with some other work. It may be I've got a client appointment. It may be it's some more writing. It might be there's some research I need to do. But I don't check my emails again until sometime around lunchtime. And generally I'll have my lunch and then I'll have a coffee and then I'll just check if there's any more emails coming through. And then again, I'll check my emails at the end of my working day, which could be sometime around 6 or 6:30. And that's just freeing me up by so much time. And everything that goes into my Read Later folder, I sometimes don't look at for a week. And the good thing about leaving it for a week is there's masses of them. And I can see that there's one particular newsletter that's been emailing me twice a day for a week. I completely unsubscribe. Once a week I'm happy with. I do not want to continually be bombarded by a message. And there's other things, and you look at them and you think, you know what, I just never read them, so I'll unsubscribe. And other things, particularly that are going to be good links that I might want to share on Twitter, then I'll deal with them. But I find it much more productive to do it in an hour, and I just allow myself a set amount of time. I'm not going to spend all night doing them. So that's working for me. So I'm being productive through my use of the internet and through dealing with things on my terms, not on other people's terms. And I know if you're still working that you may have employers who continually bombard you. But what you can do is you can set up an autoresponder message to say thank you for your email. I check emails at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. every day. I will get back to you. And you can encourage others not to copy you in on things for information. You don't need to know them. And again, you might be able to start educating the people that you work with around that. And I think maybe it's taking it a small thing at a time. So rather than decide that, you know, from tomorrow I'm going to be doing things in a very different way, I think it's useful to think about, okay, so this is the one change that I'm going to make. And the first change I ever made was to set up my Read Later folder. And then the second change I made was to stop checking emails as soon as I woke up in the morning, because I'd just get distracted, and that was completely the wrong time to be using my best time on something like that. So I hope this has been some useful areas for you to think about. And if you've got any comments, I would love to hear from you. And until next time, it's Denise Taylor, the 50 Plus Coach. Bye-bye.